Now let's send it up to the booth for the voice of the Royals, Jimmy Cook.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roncalli Royals Lacrosse on the Roncalli Media Network. A cloudy and drizzly evening from Bob Tully Field, but the emotions on the fans and the players here on the campus of Roncalli High School full of anticipation as the Mayor's Cup is on the line between Roncalli and the Southport Cardinals. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Colin McShera, I'm Jimmy Cook. Thanks so much for spending part of your Friday night with us here on the Roncalli Media Network. And Colin, the Royals, winners of 2 of their last 3, come in 4-6 on the season, hoping to string together a 3rd win in their last 4 games when they face off against Southport tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Coach Ablog, who's now come to Roncalli and made his full-time career here, as well as being a lacrosse coach. I think it's going to really elevate, and every single year he's been here, they've improved greatly over time, so it's going to be exciting to watch how they progress and grow, especially with one senior on the roster. They have a bright future ahead of them. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Opening faceoff was contested, as you saw, all the way to the sideline. It'll be last touched by Roncalli and belong to Southport as we get through the initial proceedings. Southport, mentioned, still looking for that first win on the year as there's a shot on goal that's taken and made by Mark Beatty. Very aggressive right out of the gate of the Southport Cardinals.
Yeah, just a slide but slow to come on that one. He had a clear path to goal. As a goalie, though, that's kind of the shot you want to give up. The more you're able to stare down a ball as it's coming at you and kind of zone in on it, then the less it gets bumped around, it's easier to stop. But would still like to have seen the slide possibly there to maybe settle up the defense a little bit and get your defensive subs on the field.
Well, for the Royals, as we wait our next face-off, their overall makeup to this point has been a handful of heartbreaking losses over the course of the season. Heartbreaking losses to Eastside, Bloomington North, and Perry Meridian. Caught the Royals by surprise as Southport once again with possession. Inside, shot is blocked, and a nice save. They're out front for the Royals.
They have an injury on the field back in the corner, far corner. Hard to see what the number it is.
Yeah, tough to tell from our vantage point. Players from both teams take a knee. Says Nathan Love, some of our eyes in the press box. Both the athletic training staff and coaches attend to him from the early goings of this ball game. While they do attend, we'll take a quick break. Our first stoppage here in this match. And you hope that from our vantage point, like I said, from where we're at in the press box, we believe it is Nathan Love down there on the ground being attended to. We'll have more for you after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Welcome back to Roncalli High School. Southport with possession. Shot is deflected and saved. Now Roncalli will work with it as they try to go into the attack. Good news for the Royals. Nathan Love was able to get to his feet, had to be helped off. Andrew Kill, who subbed in for him, running up the sideline now as we speak. But again, our prayers with Nathan as he gets further evaluated, and hopefully just him getting struck or maybe a bad bruise. Not going to speculate with that, but hopefully he's okay and able to return to the field soon. Royals were their first opportunity to attack tonight. Very measured approach to this point. Battling through traffic. Pass on the side. Shot is scored by Will Call, the junior. Found an angle on the far right side, and we're even at a goal apiece.
We had a low defender sliding from low to high, just kind of standing out there in the middle. So when you draw a double team like that, you just kind of have to pick your spots. Everybody in the backside's kind of playing zone. So once you just find the open person, and it was an easy pass, easy goal.
Royals prepare for the next face-off. Not even 2 minutes gone by here in this opening quarter. That one is won by Roncalli initially, but the Royals struggling to scoop it up. Finally able to be done there by Sherman. Anthony passed it ahead. Now gets it back. Waiting for reinforcements as the Royals get into position against the Southport defensive look.
Looks like Southport started in the zone, so it's just trying to find the seams and feed, and they get in, and good opportunities didn't connect.
Looking for a crossing pass there to Rosario, but as Colin mentioned, unable to hook up with that pass, and it'll go out off of Roncalli, back to Southport. Rogers to trigger, pushes ahead now to Meredith. Meredith up ahead, finds Beatty, who scored that goal quick. Moving up ahead, shot is good for Southport. Attacks quickly and decisively for both goals for the Cardinals, and they're back in front 2-1.
Yeah, it's just driving down the middle again, quick, a lot of athleticism on that play. Split the defense, not a whole lot of help slides. Came to deter the shot, he just walked right in, had a nice little 10-yard rip.
For the Royals, and again, it is the early goings. Both these teams try to feel each other out, but in the recent contest, that 7-6 loss to Eastside in overtime back on April the 14th, then only giving up 1 goal against Columbus North, 7th against Edgewood, both those wins, and then 9 against Perry Meridian in a rivalry matchup where we had an opportunity to speak to Coach Abalong before the game, and AJ basically mentioned that, the guys came in, and not to say that they were fully surprised, but got caught off guard a little bit by Perry. Nothing to lose in that matchup for the Falcons. Ultimately spring the upset. Royals hoping for a better result tonight. Only go to a different side of the south side. The shot on goal is deflected wide. Chase is given, and it will stay with Roncalli. But Royals hoping for a different result against another south side rival in Southport. Shove from behind. Result in a flag thrown. We'll get to that in a moment as the Royals attempt to play through and lose possession. And now that foul is made by the far side official.
Looks like a push with possession will be a 30-second technical, so look for the man-up opportunity to go quick and take advantage of that opportunity.
And the Royals are pushed from behind on that far side. Had no shot to even protect oneself with the angle they were taking. As Colin alluded to, we'll see if the Royals can take advantage with a man up. Pass left side. Mishandled. And it'll go back to Southport on the turnover by Roncalli.
A little frustrating, wasting an opportunity there. Let's see what kind of ride Roncalli gets in. They have a man advantage, so now we're all even if you include the goalie on a clear. You look to him to lock off the adjacent offensive players and try to force a quick turnover.
What you've seen from Southport to this point, been very aggressive, very decisive with their attacks, a man down. Does that change anything from your perspective of where their offensive philosophy should be?
So, I mean, at this stage, because it's such a quick penalty, what you want to do is just kill it. So you're going to have some defensive players on the field. You want to get the ball low to the attack who is there. So if you turn the ball over, you're not stuck with offensive middies on the defensive end of the field. So you're trying to get that ball low and wide and make Roncalli clear through and go 100 yards to try to score again.
Merrick gives right side. Now switches to Call. Call trying to find space with a couple juke moves. That goes back over there to Merrick. Merrick through 3 defenders, adjusts, lost it. A couple Cardinals hit the deck. Royals trying to scoop it up but unable to. And now finally done by Parrott. Cardinals lead 2-1 here, approaching the midway point of this first quarter. We're getting a little chippy in terms of the physicality by both teams. As you would expect in a game of this magnitude, and particularly for Southport, very hungry for that first victory. Burke trying to adjust. Gives over to Sherman. Sherman shoots and scores, and the Royals even at a 2.
Nice little two-man game on the goalie's right side. One thing I've noticed so far is both of Roncalli's goals have been assisted, so that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to go and look for assisted goals. It keeps the defense kind of hesitant. If they just are expecting somebody to drive to cage immediately, those slides come quicker and those double teams come quicker. But those slides are a little bit more hesitant, knowing that you're going to shoot right off of the feet, so it's going to open up Roncalli's offense a little more.
Well, to that end, the Royals through 8 goals, on average, to 5 assists per game. Something that Coach Ablong prides himself in terms of this group. A lot of it successfully moving the ball around and finding an opening. But another off to the races opportunity for Southport. Extra pass shot is deflected. Good save there by Andrew Cole. He's had a couple nice ones tonight. Royals now looking to attack. Nicholas Burke up ahead. And they'll take a breath for a moment as Rufus Parrott controls. Parrott crossed the field to Burke. And the Royals, as Southport gets set to analyze the defense, try to seek their first lead of this ball game. Sherman around the top. Over to Kill. Andrew adjusts, fakes, pass over to Rosario. Beautiful movement. Around the side. Tough shot through traffic, but the Royals still able to retain it. Might get one more bite at this apple. Burke to Kill, and the Royals reset things. Burke looking for an angle. Cut off by Southport.
Look to see that look again. The slide came. The backside attacker didn't cut up field like he should have for a cage. The feet would have been wide open. But they're clearing out one side, so you're giving your right-handed player the entire right side of the alley to drive. You're forcing that slide to come exactly where you expect it to. Now expect the backside attackers to cut in and have another assisted goal.
Parrott gets separation. Pass was low, but it's scooped and saved, and the shot is wide. Chase is on. Royals will get there first. On a laser there by Burke, but well wide. Royals with it now. That closed quickly on Kill. Back around to Burke. He lost it, and it's scooped up by Parrott. Sherman, tough shot off the bounce. The Royals give chase, and they will retain it. We've had 3 or 4 cracks at this now against the Southport defense on this possession. And there's a shot on goal, so the question is a moot point anyway. It was going to be, how have you felt about Roncalli testing the waters so far against the Cardinals on this possession? Ultimately does end in a goal on that nice shot by Rufus Parrott, but overall, a lot of patience there practiced by Roncalli on that possession.
That's 3 different people who scored goals so far today as we go into a timeout. Looks like Southport wants to kind of connect and try to get their defense back on track.
We will take one with them. 4:41 to play in this first quarter. The Royals have their first lead of the match here in the Mayor's Cup. They lead 3-2 over Southport. Back in a moment on the Roncalli Media Network.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back here at Bob Tully Field with Colin McSherry, I'm Jimmy Cook. Royals with their first lead of the ball game here in the Mayor's Cup, 3-2 over the Southport Cardinals. And that last possession, Colin, really built by patience with the Roncalli offense. Tested a number of times. They did that Southport defense, but continued to persevere. Ultimately got a nice shot by Rufus Parrott.
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple good looks. Shots kind of coming from wings that you'd want to see, even though they don't connect. Missing shots is not indicative of poor play. What that just means that you have a lot of possession shots, you're controlling the play, and you're forcing Southport to play defense on you in a lot of different aspects.
Face-off initially, it looked like Southport was going to win that, but Tommy Ock able to grab it for Roncalli and set up another opportunity for the Royals. Rufus Parrott has it now. He scored the goal a couple moments ago. Now back to Burke. Burke to Kill. Near side. Feeling his way around. Nice spin move, but it's stripped away. Physical fight for it. Royals trying to scoop it up, and they will. It's taken there by Andrew Kill. Kill back to Sherman. Sherman with a spin move. Make it 2. Sherman's free. Shot is behind. And it might have been a deflection as well by Jackson Lyle in the net. Royals gave chase. They will keep it. Nearly lose it, though, on that exchange as Parrott regroups. Sherman matched up with Beatty, who scored the only 2 goals for Southport to this point in the match. Again, trying to get separation. Working left to right with a couple spins. Parrott now. Adjust. A little bit of a hezzy. Back over to Sherman. Trying to probe their way through and find an opening. Burke, well wide on that shot. Royals will be there, though, on the chase. They'll get another crack at it.
It's hard to tell if Southport's running a zone or man-to-man. It looks man-to-man, but everybody's playing so wide and not very congested, so those quick slides are happening and they're getting shots.
Call in front of the net, tried to whip around 3 defenders, but could not. Once again, though, to give chase is Rosario, and the Royals will keep it. Well, I can tell you this much, and all jokes aside, in the transparency of our our viewers and our listening audience, if you can't tell, I can't bail us out there. Pass left side, shot is...
That hit a human and went out of bounds.
Off a ricochet. Full dead sprint to midfield, though, after that happened by Parrott. Now he's ready to restart things. Burke, bully balling. Forced a shot. You should think it was a shot with the velocity there. Had way too much mustard on it for Rosario to scoop that. He's first there on the chase. Roncalli will keep it. Sherman. High shot. It's good. Anthony Sherman says, I'll do it myself, and it's 4-2 Royals.
Good job on spacing there for the Royals on that. That was the first goal of the game that I had that was completely unassisted, and it's basically you're driving right to the cage, splitting defenders, and the slides just came from too far and had no chance to help, and it was just a layup goal.
His second goal of the match. And Roncalli in the driver's seat with 2:24 to play here in this first quarter. Face-off won initially by Roncalli. A late contest there, though, as a trio of Royals against 2 Cardinals. Pass ahead to Call. Call. Waits. and dishes to Burke. Burke back over there to Sherman. Burke will step off. Merrick will come in. Sherman clears away. Gives over to Merrick. Brendan gets it back from Call. Nearly lost it. Royals able to retain it. Pass ahead to Call. Call adjusting. Little stutter step shot is in for the Royals. Goal number 5. And the second goal of this match for Will Call.
Had to give the announcers a little bit of love on that. I'm sure you guys can hear him through the microphone here. Good offensive play on that one. Hit the seams. Slide came late. Roncalli's doing a much better job at spacing. Spacing gives you all that, again, not to belabor the point, but it gives you all that extra room, makes those slides become a little bit longer to take, and especially if your middies are faster than those deep holes, it's just going to be easy to kind of either take that shot on the run or look for a feed.
Royals with a 4-2 lead inside of 90 seconds to go in this first quarter. Face-off won by the Cardinals. Samuel Brookshire has it. Outside of that attack by Beatty, Southport's offense losing face-off left and right, and Royals dominating possession. Southport finally able to scoop it back. Rogers, though, not headed in the direction Southport's coaching staff would like. Now they started turning upfield. Pass ahead to Baker. Baker with a little forearm shiver on that. And it'll go to Roncalli.
Yeah, called for a ward on that. They're close to being taking too long to get over the line.
Roncalli will welcome possession back any way they can. Try to add to this 3-goal lead before the first quarter ends. Inside of 40 seconds now. Sherman. Pass on the far side. Could not be corralled. I'll go back to Southport. Look, he was looking for Rosario.
The first offensive possession of the last 3, the Royals have not scored a goal. Very much like in basketball, the illusion, it's Indiana. We've all played basketball. And what you're told is that the team that wins the rebounding game typically wins the game. In lacrosse, it's the face-off circle. So if you're in the positive end of face-offs, you're going to win it. And just here, we've seen 2 failed clears by Southport. Why that's important is because if you can't get the ball in offense and settle it down, there's no possession clock in high school. So if you can't settle it down, you have the same group of middies and the same deep holes playing defense for minutes and minutes at a time. It's going to start wearing them out. It's much harder to sub on defense than it is on offense.
Kill. Final 15 seconds, first quarter. Near side. Pass partially deflected. Scooped up, though. Aiming for Burke. Royals will give chase, but that either go out of bounds or run out the clock. It will go out of bounds first. Final 4 seconds here for Southport. Beatty's about the only one that's done any offense for Southport to this point. Only one that has a shot to get a shot up. He does, but it's saved by Cole with ease. And the Royals will end that first quarter with a 5-2 lead over the Southport Cardinals here in the battle for the Mayor's Cup. We'll take a quick break and be right back. The second quarter is up next on the Roncalli Media Network.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Back here at Bob Tully Field, 1 quarter in the books in the battle for the Mayor's Cup between your Roncalli Royals and the Southport Cardinals. Royals lead at 5-2 after 1. Alongside Colin McShera, I am Jimmy Cook. Colin, you mentioned it a couple of times, particularly late, about the fatigue adding up for Southport. When you look at the adjustments needed to be made in quarter number 2, obviously a great starting point would be winning these faceoffs. Overall, though, with how they've handled themselves defensively, given the added up fatigue, what adjustment would you like to see on Southport's end at this point?
Got to keep it tight. So what I mean is keep the slides short and force Roncalli to shoot from outside. You're going to want to give up these 10, 12 shots from range. It's going to make the goalie easy to track. And plus, those slides are going to be shorter, and it's going to deter those drives towards the middle. So keeping the ball on the outside is going to make it a little bit quicker.
Beatty, a man on a mission, and the result is the same as it's been pretty much every time he's had the ball. It's a goal. Number 3 for Mark. And just like that, Southport within 2.
I think we've only seen offense out of Beatty on this Southport team. He's a great player, one of the better players you'll see on the field and basically in this entire county. What they're going to have to do defensively, Roncalli, conversely to Southport, is you got to take one of his hands away. It doesn't really matter which one. You have to force him to his side. If you play him square up like you would, say in like basketball, he can go left, he can go right. It makes those slides a little bit more ambiguous and slower. If you force him to a specific slide, those slides are quicker, and it's a little bit easier to recover backside.
From the Roncalli side of things, obviously a lot of offense to be proud of, and the defense rebounded from those 2 early goals they gave up. What do you need to see from them an adjustment standpoint in quarter number 2?
So, again, I think in a way, Roncalli's a little bit deeper, it looks like, defensively. So just in a way, I've always played defense where you kind of keep it tight and kind of force the offense to do that. But in a way, that might help slow him down a little bit. But offensively for Roncalli, just keep doing what you're doing. The 2-man games are there. When you draw that slide from the crease, find one of the 2 low attackmen, and you'll have a layup. So it's pretty much just playing fundamental lacrosse. The team that's going to just keep it simple, stupid, is going to win this game.
Royals tried to get close for a shot on goal, but could not. They lost it. Southport unable to come up with it, though. And the Royals will get another opportunity. Shot, far side, rejected. Kill gets it back, though, for the Royals. They'll bring it back out and reset. Kill stumbles initially. Pass. Back behind the net. They work it back in front. Over to Sherman. They got caught in the jersey of Call on that pass. Went right through the top.
That's not a bad look. So what that look is called, if you're a fan of the game and have been around for a while, the look is called Nations. And if it looks like a pick and roll, but it's a pick and roll with an extra pass. Sometimes when you roll off, you don't have the best angle, but passing downwards to come back upwards creates that space.
Beatty, my goodness. From end to end, Mark Beatty, goal number 4. And Southport is within 1, not even 2 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
I don't know if this is on purpose that Beatty's wearing number 11, but he looks like Antoine Randall returning punts. If you guys are fans of IU football.
Hoosiers.
Pretty much. We're Hoosier fans up in here.
Indeed.
So, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right now. You have to take its side away. It's until you take one of his hands away. And honestly, it doesn't matter which one. He looks just as good left as he does right on the field. You take away half of his options, it opens more things up defensively, and it closes a lot of options up offensively for Southport.
Face off. Look like the Royals might scoop that, and indeed they do. Off to the races, Nick Burke. Burke far side. And he'll regroup over to Rosario. Burke will hustle off. Merrick back in there. Burke waits for Sherman to get ready. Gets a lay of the land. Now set to attack for Roncalli. Burke found an edge. Pass to Sherman.
That's that look. That's the 2-man game. Just didn't happen that time, but that's the look.
Pass ahead. Unable to get out of that was Bergman. Quick little shove in the back. Battling for possession. I'll go towards the sideline, and Basically flip a coin at that point to figure out whose possession it is. The official says it belongs to Southport. And Beatty controls. Beatty, hesitation, got free initially. Cardinals thought he was whacked from behind.
Much better job keeping the defense tight. Those slides are shorter. They're more efficient.
Cardinals looking for an angle. Shot is through by Samuel Brookshire, the first non-Mark Beatty named player for Southport to get in the scorebook. We are even at 5. It's a 3-0 run in this second quarter for the Cardinals.
Lacrosse is a game of runs, and even though, like I mentioned it earlier, that the team that typically wins the face-off circle wins the game, well, that's not just all part of it, too. You have to take care of the ball and possess the ball. We saw Roncalli score on 3 straight possessions in the first. Southport's done the exact same thing. Southport's has done so far a much better job at clearing the ball compared to the first. So you add face-offs and clears. You know, lacrosse is a two-way game. Going hundreds of years ago, the goals were miles apart. So if you can't clear the ball, you know, you can't win. And that's just the team. They're right now, this moment, 6 minutes in, Southport's doing a much better job possessing the ball.
Face-off won initially by the Royals, but Kill unable to get a clean pass away. Now the Royals send it ahead. Call on that far side. Waits and gives to Burke. Burke. Now Call. Call back to Merrick. Merrick had it taken away. Trying to repossess. And the Royals will do that. Coming away with it is Parrott. Parrott. Back to Kill on that far side. Physicality of Southport really locking on the defensive end. Royals run into each other there. To this point on this possession in particular, how much of it is Southport locking back in and how much of it is on Roncalli's inability to get back to what was working for them initially?
So I'm not really over the top worried about it. It looks like Roncalli's taking a breather. I mentioned it earlier. If you give your defense a break, then the things are going to start working well. They can recover, and then look. So there's no possession clock, you know. There is, which is good. You can hold on to the ball, and I've been on teams that have held the ball for minutes at a time. So just getting back to what you're doing, settling it down, getting a break, and if you have the ball, you have momentum in a way. As I say that, they turn the ball over.
It's a two-part equation. Rose only get half of it there. Rust passes ahead. Cardinals just lobbing it up there. Trying to find an angle. And now they'll reset things with Daniel. Beatty back on for Southport. Bergman. They work it back around the horn. Hansel, little jab step. Over to Bergman. Back behind the net. Trying to force feed Beatty. Instead looking for an angle, and it's turned over. Roncalli able to gather it. Collisions left and right. Up for grabs whoever wants it more. Southport nearly had it. And now they do. But flustering, persistent defense there by the Royals. Find Beatty. Beatty lost it. Tipped up in the air.
Got lucky with that trick. But
the Royals able to track it down. Burke blows by defenders. On the run. Pass ahead. Mishandled by Parrott. Southport also mishandles it. There is call for Roncalli.
You might want a possession timeout here if you get it.
And scooped up successfully by Sherman. He's back off to the races. Sherman struck in the back and flags fly. Sherman. Pass far side. Kill. And it'll be chase given by Roncalli, but then we'll address these Flags.
It'll be a 1-minute slashing penalty. Didn't make an attempt to play the ball or dislodge the ball. Made it every attempt to hurt the player, it looked like, on that one. So Roncalli will go on a man advantage for a minute.
Critical juncture in this ball game. Cardinals still on a 3-0 run to tie this match at 5. Far side, Sherman. It's saved.
We don't need that shot. That shot's 15 yards away. You just started a penalty. It's through traffic. It's going to be easy to read. But I'm kind of confident in, or not confident in the goalie's clearing ability. So it looks like we're going to get another run.
Sherman has it once again for Roncalli.
All right, you got plenty of time. Settle it down, get in your sets. We don't have anybody low.
Burke up top to Sherman. Far right side, shot is scored by the Royals. I believe that was Will Call yet again. That's goal number 3 for Will Call this match. The Royals end the Cardinals' 3-0 run and retake the lead 6-5 with 4:25 to go here in this first half.
I think Roncalli is going to have good success on man-up advantages like that. That is Sherman's second assist so far of the half. So, and we mentioned all but one of Roncalli's goals so far today have been assisted. So when all you're doing is bumping the ball around, getting the defense to move, assisted goals come a lot easier on a man advantage.
Now to the face-off. Royals have had high success so far tonight. One of our more physical battles for it so far, won by the Royals. Burke. Full head of steam to Parrott. And the latest reinforcements in Burke and Sherman. Sherman trying to find an angle. Shot bounced out of play, but the Royals there first on the chase and will keep it. Pass just deflected by Merrick. Sherman now has it to Burke. Burke spinning and just lost it. Scooped up by Jackson Lyle in the net. But they mishandle it. Royals an opportunity here. Shot is off the post. And now in the hands of Beatty. Beatty trying to corral it on that sideline. He does. Now he gives it up ahead. Cardinals drop it. Daniel regathers. The Cardinals an opportunity to tie. Beatty, left side. Adjust. Hang. Saved. We'll get in front. Successful there was Cole. And first real resistance, at least in terms of playing the net for Cole, with a Beatty attack for Southport. Royals bring it ahead. Call. Over to Merrick. Merrick stutters briefly at the top. Now goes near side to Parrott. Royals run their set. Parrott.
Yeah, crease violation it looks like.
Go back to Southport.
It's a hospital pass.
Zario scoops it up for Roncalli. Southport lost it. Had an opportunity there to the Cardinals to try to get moving downhill. That'll be Call over to Merrick. Merrick has Burke left side. Trying to get space closer to the net. Turning, firing, and scoring. Brendan Merrick, the freshman, his first goal of this match, and the Royals extend their lead 7-5 with 1:42 to go in this first half.
That play got started because of a fail clear. And it's easy for me to be critical on goalies because I am one and I played at a very high level. The goalie's job is to prevent the other team from scoring. It's not limited to making saves. So if you're throwing constant, there have been 3 straight passes the goalie's thrown that have resulted in Roncalli's possessions just because of bad passes or just poor decisions. So with that, that's given Roncalli 3 straight possessions. So possessions, that's what this game is about, is passing, catching, possessions. If you put all 3 together, you'll win the game.
Well, the Royals respond to a 3-0 run by Southport to begin this quarter with a 4-0 run of their own. They lead 7-5 with 1:30 to play here in this first half. Cardinals looking for a quick answer. Royals were ready, though. Baker gives it up. Bodies hit the deck. Cardinals going to have a tough spot to save that. And they're able to, just barely.
Got a delayed flag.
Baker just threw one up there, and it's saved with ease, put down to the air by Andrew Cole.
I have him down for 5 saves so far in the game.
Cole came in 81 saves on the season, a save percentage of 48%.
So it looks like Southport's first ever attempt on a man advantage. We'll see what kind of set they run. It looks like they have 1 behind and keeping 5 up top. And Roncalli's kind of spreading out a little bit. We'll see where Southport tries to find the two-man game and the man advantage.
Baker stumbled, lost it. Good defense by the Royals, and they're able to gather it. Flip ahead. Therefore, it was Henson. Henson has it. Midfield, lost it from behind. Final 33 seconds of this first half. Southport trying to get within a goal. Royals looking to prevent that or add to it.
So have a loose ball push. It's going to go back to Southport.
The Cardinals will have it with 27 seconds left in this first half. Looking to end a 4-0 Roncalli run. Baker to Beatty. Been the thorn of the side of the Royals for most of this half. Done a good job containing him, though, over the last 7 minutes of play. Godlowski gives far side. It's lost, but Southport first there on the chase. Back there was Henderson. They'll have 8 seconds to operate with. Henderson passes in. Final opportunity, bodies hit the deck. Southport will not get a shot attempt off. And the Royals with an impressive 4-0 response after Southport punched back with a 3-0 run of their own to take a early lead in the second quarter. Roncalli, at that point, down 5-3. They score 4 straight. And in the driver's seat, feeling good as they head to the halftime break. Colin, when you look at, and we'll obviously dive into this deeper when the third quarter arrives before we go to the break, and as is tradition with our soccer matches and our lacrosse matches, we'll take a break. It'll be a silenced halftime, so you'll still see the huddle cam, and we'll still be here with you, but we'll have a brief little summary here from the first half, leave you for a few minutes, and then come back. You'll still have commercials, I should say, just to clarify that, audience. You won't have full silence. But before we get to that, though, from your observations first on the Roncalli side of the ledger, Coach Ablong's talked about the inexperience of this team, only one senior on the roster in Scott Burke, and the need to respond when somebody does punch back, even if it's lesser competition or higher competition. Respond when somebody punches back. They've done that so far tonight with that 4-0 run to close the second quarter.
Yeah, so throwing young kids in situations like that is always a good idea. You just want to see what they're made of. I've been on teams going back to my high school days when I played football at Bishop Chatard. We were nationally ranked. I think we lost a total of 3 games in my career. So I've always been on teams that has been just, that's the standard, and that's the industry, is just to completely wax your opponents.
Sure.
But then going and playing at Lacrosse Chatard, it was a brand new program that I was there. We played all the tough teams, and we lost way more games than we've won. So just trying to, and throwing those kids into it in adversity, say, hey, as a freshman, you're going to play under the lights, you're going to get all this adversity, but this is where you're going to be as a senior. it empowers them a little bit more. So if I'm Roncalli, I want to get those freshmen as many touches as many meaningful touches as possible. So having long possessions where they're staying spread out, not putting too much pressure on them to perform or drive or things like that, getting them those valuable, meaningful minutes and possessions is going to increase their confidence. So then after a while, based on how the game is going, you can start taking more and more of those risks and start just really seeing what you're made of. But again, Mike Tyson said it best, everybody doesn't get a game plan until they get hit.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it's really good. It's a good idea to really play these tough competition games and getting those players meaningful minutes because, if you see, as you play in bad, star quality is a thing. And the more you put those young, raw talent in there, the ceiling is going to be higher playing in these kind of situations rather than just playing one half of a game and sitting out because you're up by 30 goals. So
on the Southport side of things, conversation for them. You're able to retake momentum of this match. You're hungry for your first win of the season. It's a rivalry game. We've talked about that. Where has their offense dissipated in both the majority of the first quarter as well as the second half of the second quarter versus that area sandwiched in the middle where they were able to put together a nice 3-0 run?
So for me, I think it comes down to the draw because there wasn't an opportunity to clear. Southport won those draws, and mini Antoine Randall's coming out here returning punts, and he's been the base of the offense. So if I'm offensively for Southport, you got to get more people involved, even if it's just kind of like what Roncalli's been doing, just kind of bumping the ball around, getting people a little bit more empowered. You have to force the defense to respect you and play at your own pace. And then so that way, as the defense starts respecting you and spreading out more, then those impact plays can start to get the ball. Where Roncalli started their run in the second quarter is off of failed clears. And I mentioned it earlier, just either errant passes by the goalie or the low defenders, and they've all been on passes that have been 15, 20 yards away. So if I'm Roncalli, you need possessions to get into this game. And on those clears, you need to keep it simple. You can't just throw the ball to Mark Beatty and expect him to run 90 yards and have the energy to be on offense. So you have to keep it short, cut back to the ball, 10, 12-yard passes, keep it simple, keep it the passes, not over the top extravagant, be meticulous. There's no shot clock in this game. You have 30 seconds to get the ball into your zone. So just keep it as simple, be meticulous, get those possessions, and that's how they're going to claw into the game.
That's Colin McShera. I am Jimmy Cook. We're going to take a brief pause. We'll be out for about 5.5. When we come back, we will have more adjustments for both sides and ultimately the start of the third quarter here between Roncalli and Southport. It's obviously the Southside rivalry, but an extra bit of flavor when the Mayor's Cup is on the line. 2 quarters in the books. Roncalli halfway to capturing yet another Mayor's Cup. They lead 7-5 over the Southport Cardinals. Second half to you in about 5.5 on the Roncalli Media Network.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and Greenwood florist. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150 East Thompson Road.
When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Anne and Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Anne and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Anne and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Anne and Bartram, 317-889-9574.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Lauk Veldoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauk Veldoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Veldoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com. Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
Meet Zach. Zach rides everywhere, day and night, rain or shine. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Zach. We know he's been saving up for a car. We're here to help Zach and you. Now get pre-approved for auto financing as low as 3.99% APR. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Rates subject to credit approval and valid on purchase of 2020 or newer vehicles. Learn more at imcu.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in Central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. Alongside Colin McShare, I'm Jimmy Cook. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us here on the Roncalli Media Network. Royals going to this opening face-off of the second half with a 7-5 lead as we start the third quarter. And they'll open with it right out of the gate as Nick Burke has it on the near side. You preached a little bit in that first half, Colin, as well as when we looked at adjustments before we stepped aside for a few minutes, that it's more of the same for Roncalli. There's a goal there by Will Call, his fourth of the match. And the Royals extend their lead 8-5. More of the same in terms of what they were doing from an offensive standpoint. A lot of what they're trying to do on offense is present with how Southport's playing them, as long as they stay patient.
For sure. I mean, Southport, they are extending out, so the drives and the slides are a little bit longer. But what I'm not seeing Southport defensively is the pressuring out on ball. So there's not putting a whole lot of pressure, forcing Roncalli to make their own plays. Roncalli just kind of having their way with them. So that's kind of playing into that to that mindset of having that two-man game and trying to have assisted goals. That goal was not assisted, but having Roncalli kind of stay on those adjacents where that could come from made those slides come later, and it was a walk-in.
Call now with 22 goals on the season for Roncalli. Trying to push ahead and maybe add another one there, but had it taken away. Brookshire. He had it stripped. Trying to come up with it for Royals in the area, and it is scooped up successfully by Call. Royals winning a lot of those 50-50 opportunities, too, when that ball hits the turf. Call. Over to Parrott. Parrott spinning behind the net. We're going to reset things over to Sherman. Now Burke. And he'll get situated and get his bearings for the Royals offense. Burke, adjustment. Gives back post. An extra pass, shot, and score. They find Call. Back-to-back goals by Will Call. 5 for him on the night, 23 on the season.
So what we saw there, we saw a high pick. It wasn't really a pick. It was kind of more of a slip. We had a drive, and then that pass, that skip pass where the slide was coming from went down low. So the offensive player wasn't in a good spot to make a move, but since all the mindset and all the heads turned below the cage, it opened up that top side again. So it's kind of like a pick and roll with an extra pass that we were talking about a little bit earlier, but that's the benefit of a two-man game is it opens up things else adjacently.
3 goals in that first half, 2 here in the second half, and 2 here in just the last 90 seconds for Will Call. The Royals extend their lead, largest of the game now, at 9-5.
Clearing opportunity for Southport. This is their first one of the half. We'll see if they're able to clean up their clears a little bit. They had 3 straight turnovers last quarter that resulted in goals for Roncalli.
Lyle tried to give it ahead.
There's another long pass, and we'll see if it goes out of bounds or not.
It will be just poked at and kept in play by Daniel. The Royals have it, though.
That's another turnover. You want to credit Roncalli's right, but in a way, it's just mistakes on the defensive end. The Southport defensive end, I should clarify.
Near side. Pass up to Sherman.
There's a high ball screen. We'll see if the pass goes, if it goes anywhere.
Sherman contorts his body, gets around his shot. No, he hesitated, then shoots. And it's saved successfully by Lyle. He lost it on the scoop. Second chance opportunity. And the Royals put it through. It's Call again. Right place, right time that time for Will Call. 6 goals for him on the night. Beating Southport by himself right now. They're different area code. Will Call 6, Southport 5. But by all accounts, the official scoreboard, Royals 10, Cardinals 5.
Yeah, definitely at that time I kind of credited it was the Southport mistake, but in that situation it was Roncalli's right. Putting pressure on the goal, you know that he's uncomfortable passing the ball, and look what happened. He loses it, and it was just an easy scoop and score for Call's 6th goal of the game.
Face off at midfield. Call now with 24 goals, just 6 behind Scott Burke for the team lead. Burke, of course, chasing history. Hoping to...
So this is interesting. So the last 2 face-offs that Roncalli's won, they've kind of thrown away. So now it's on the attack to right and get that ball right back. That's something I'm sure Coach Ablog wants to clear up this week.
I was mentioning there for a second with Call where he's at from a goal standpoint. Burke, the leading scorer, 71 career goals for Scott, number 3rd all-time in Roncalli history. Jason Keeler-Jackson, class of 2013's 84 goals. Shot on for Southport, but a good save there by Cole.
We talked about it at halftime, getting more players involved, taking meaningful minutes and meaningful shots. There it is. Southport started their own 2-man game and got a shot off.
In terms of a pulse for Southport, see what they're able to turn that into, but at least a positive sign on their end. Finally able to break through for a shot attempt.
Yeah, Yeah, this is their first possession, and so far we played just under 6 minutes of this game, or excuse me, 6 minutes of this half. This is their first meaningful possession. See what they can do with that. As I say that, pass looks like it might go over.
Nearly a turnover, but Beatty there to save it. I'll see how aggressive he wants to be. Beatty hits the brakes, sizing his way up through his Roncalli defense.
There's nobody behind cage.
They move around, misplayed on a bobble by Henderson. Henderson had it taken away by the Royals. That's partially deflected. Southport operating with it. They work far side. Royals currently on a 7-0 run dating back to the second quarter. Nearly a takeaway by Roncalli. It is a takeaway. Pass ahead. Into Call. Call hits the brake, spins, turns. Looking for a passing angle. Finds one. They go to kill. Andrew shot. Misfires.
Might have pipe a little bit. That's a good look.
It will stay with the Royals with 7:12 to play here in this third quarter.
I'm not too terribly upset with that shot, as we had 3 Roncalli middies subbing at the same time, so it kind of created a 6-on-3 at Roncalli's offensive end. So if had that resulted in a turnover, probably wouldn't. Coach AJ would not have been happy about that one.
Cardinals try to fight for that little check work by the Royals. They'll give it to Southport. Last touch by Roncalli. Brookshire gives to Beatty. Royals have really kept him in check for the most part since that barrage in the first quarter. Beatty trying to change that, navigates, shoots, saved by Cole.
That's his 6th of the game. And by 6, I mean 6 save.
Pass cross field over the outstretched netting of Love. Should notice that. I don't know if we acknowledged it in the first half, but Nathan Love obviously back out there. If you joined us from the start of this broadcast, Love dinged up a bit far side in the first quarter. Good to see him back out there okay.
Sports medicine staff's top notch. Great job getting him back on the field.
Baker trying to navigate around the Royals. Couldn't find a shot angle. Able to give it off, though, on the far side. Shot weakly. Cardinals give chase. Cole was there in defense the whole time, but it will stay with Southport. Action in front of the net.
Great save. Unfortunately, he won't get credit for that because the crease violation happened before the shot, but kid looked like me in there circa 2006 on that save. Nice job.
And you could tell from the elation on the Royals sideline, very happy with that play from Cole. Here comes Roncalli. Trying to navigate his call.
Good skip pass. There it is.
And the shot is deflected.
That's one of those shots, I mean, everybody writes with their hand. A lot of people shoot a basketball with their right hand. In lacrosse, you have to be able to use two. And when you're catching that with your right, you have to bring it back across your body. If you just catch that left with your stick up field, the shot comes out quicker and honestly with more power, even if you're not as comfortable with your left hand as your right. But that's an area of opportunity for a lot of these kids, especially with another year, 1, 2, or 3 years left with only one senior on the team. Next year or the year after, that kid's going to bury that shot because he'll have the stick in his proper hand.
Meredith trying to get inside action for Southport. They lose it. Scooped it back and then lost.
Taking a lot of chances here, shooting shots off balance, force feeding the crease, and Roncalli's taking advantage of it.
Andrew Kill has it. He's off to the races. Passes far side to Call. He lost it. Now Southport looks to move it ahead. Veen in trouble on that sideline. He'll just launch it forward. I'll take a ride and go out. Last off of Southport.
Bit of a lob wedge approach on that one, just trying to get it to somebody open. I mean, with how Southport's clearing the ball, it might not be a bad opportunity. You have a lot of your middies and attackers are going to be some of your best ball handlers. So, if you can get lower to the ground, because it looks like Roncalli's deep poles are a little bit taller, and they have a 6-foot pole compared to a 46-inch stick, so it's going to be maybe a little bit easier. Maybe that's the strategy now. Who knows?
Sherman lost it as he was falling out of bounds. Southport now an opportunity. Rust hesitates. Royals trying to get back defensively. Rust, full head of steam, puts his head down, and he lost it. Good defense there by Roncalli, but they're unable to maintain possession for a counterattack. And the Cardinals ultimately get it back. Dump off pass to Bergman. Bergman on that wing, pass in front of the net, right into Cole's net. He'll have it for Roncalli. And the Royals unable to manage possession. That'll be tight, but it'll roll out of bounds back to Southport with 3:50 to play in this third quarter. Royals still with a 5-goal lead, 10-5. Here in the battle for the Mayor's Cup.
This is where Southport should really be selling out. It shouldn't be necessary to force feeding creases or having Beatty just try to do everything by himself. You have to be able to be more aggressive on the ride. And look, it's as if Roncalli has scored a lot of their goals in transition off of failed clears. Failed clear by Roncalli results in a goal for Southport.
And Beatty able to make it happen. His 5th goal, but first in this second half. And the Cardinals with a pulse with 3:44 to play in this third quarter. They're within 4.
4 goals is nothing. I mean, there's 15 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in the entire game. So all you got to do is make up 1 goal every 4 minutes or so, realistically. So that's a lot of time. That's an eternity. I've been a part of teams that have scored 3 goals in a minute before. So it's simple to do if you're going to win those goals, if you're going to win the faceoffs. But they just need to start playing hard. They don't necessarily need to start forcing or taking too many unnecessary risks. 4 goals is nothing.
How easy is it to get complacent as a team leading at this level?
It's very easy. And I've been on teams that are expected to win by a lot, and I've been on teams that have been expected to lose every other game. What really separates those teams that are expected to win by that is just playing their game at full intensity all the way for the allotted time. Right? So taking the air out of the ball or not moving around and just trying to be low and complacent, you're not playing your game. And when you stray away from what got you there, you'll be less likely to be successful.
Action in front of the net for Burke. Make that call, I beg your pardon. His shot goes wide, but given the chase was Rosario. It'll stay with Roncalli. Rosario with it. Pass cross to Kill. Kill shot attempt. Saved successfully by Lyle.
So you like Roncalli still putting the ball on cage. However, a shot like that's 15 yards away, to me, I wouldn't take that shot. You don't necessarily need to shoot stuff like that when you're up by 4, because that's an easier save for the goalie. And and the last thing that the shooter is doing when they're shooting the ball is thinking about playing defense, right? So already, if you shoot a shot like that, it's a turnover. You're already putting yourself at a disadvantage on the clear.
Cardinals with it. A couple misplays by both Roncalli and Southport in back-to-back possessions, but more costly for the Cardinals. They're down 4.
Failed clear. Let's see what happens. That seems to be the story of the game. Failed clears seem to equal goals. And now it looks like Roncalli is the first midi line going out back on the field.
As they do that, they give it to Burke. Scott. Takes a summary of the field. Scott hesitates. Little jab. Spinning. Turning. Contorting his body. Shot goes behind the net. Roncalli, though, first there on the chase. Both in the area was Rosario as well as Parrott. And it'll stay with the Royals with 2:12 to play here in the third.
Again, you still want to be aggressive. You still want to push and play your game. But to me, it doesn't seem necessary to try to run through 3 people and then get a shot off with just your arms. When you're drawing 2 people outside of your guy, that means 2 of your own teammates are open somewhere. You just got to find them.
Parrott, wild shot, went wide, but again, the Royals first there on the chase. They'll get one more chance at it. How frustrating is that for a defense, the continued possession after possession after possession, when not only are you losing the initial angles, but also the chase continue to be won by the attacking team?
So, at the end of the day, what you have to do defensively, you want to chase the ball, you definitely, but you have to be able to play defense top side of the cage. You can't score from behind the cage. And that's your one job, is to play defense and put the ball on the ground. So you have to basically, in a way, prioritize that. But still, you also don't want to be giving up unnecessary shots, and you also don't want to keep giving possession. So it's kind of a judgment call.
Truck stick collision by Rust of Southport on Parrott of Roncalli.
I think that kid might go to Dick's Sporting Goods sometime this week and invest in a cup. Or do we have any Sporting Goods sponsors here?
No official sponsors. You're
no
all clear.
official sponsors
You're all
from
good.
that? All right. We'll go to a Sporting Goods store and invest in a cup.
But if you'd like to sponsor, email Aaron Hommel at ahommel@roncalli.org. So as the dust clears, Royals will have it with just outside of 90 seconds to play, third quarter, up 4. Sherman lost that partially. Royals first to it, though, and they'll get it back with 1:25 in the third.
Yeah, Depot with a good save on that one, hit him right in the chest.
Kill. Dishes. Call. Angle was cut off. Back over to Merrick. Merrick trying to feel his way around. Quick spin outside. Merrick through traffic, lost it. Scooped up by Lyle. Lyle launched it ahead inside of a minute now, third quarter.
It's a 45-yard pass that's going to go out of bounds and be Roncalli's ball. Another failed clear, so we'll see how Roncalli responds to this one.
You mentioned the inability on the clears for the Cardinals. Are you surprised they continue to go with that launch pass to get it out of there?
I mean,
to varying degrees of success?
I don't see the point in doing it. I don't know the coach very well. I don't know what his strategy is on the clear, but like for me and any team I've ever been on, we've always had to just keep it simple, be meticulous. You have 10 players out there on the field for a reason.
Flags fly. Burke has it. Over to Kill. Andrew had it deflected. 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Royals by 4. Battle for it on that near side sideline. Royals scoop it up. It's Call with it. Call lost it. Now he gets it back. Call through traffic.
For a lot of that, like at the end of the play right there, when we know there's a penalty flag on the field, and if what stops the play is either a Southport possession or a goal or the ball goes out of bounds. So when you have the ball rolling out, it's kind of hard for me to understand why the Southport Depot is trying to hockey it to a teammate when all you got to do is just push the ball 5 feet out of bounds and then you get a reset.
Timeout taken by, I believe it was Roncalli. With 12 seconds to go in this third quarter, we will keep it right here. I want to remind you when we have a second that coming up on the Roncalli Media Network next week, we'll have broadcasts on May 1st for boys volleyball, senior night against Bishop Chatard. May 3rd as well, senior night for boys lacrosse against Franklin Community. Boys volleyball as well, May 4th against Perry Meridian. That's upcoming broadcast on the Roncalli Media Network. Looking forward to having you along for the ride as well. Royals in front by 4, 12 seconds to go. They'll have possession of it.
You got to forgive my ignorance on this because I'm used to the girls' game, but there used to be a rule, and it might still be the case, and maybe this is why AJ took the timeout, to where whoever has the ball during a penalty, whoever has the ball as the time expires between quarter and half gets possession of the ball that second half, so you completely avoid the draw altogether. So maybe that's something AJ's telling his team, hey, maybe take a quick shot here real quick, but if we don't get a goal, hold on to it. Don't throw any unnecessary pass that would result in a draw. That looks like that's what's going to happen here. They're probably just going to run the clock out, then they'll get a ball back with possession to start the fourth quarter.
That's indeed what will happen. The Royals still find themselves on a 7-1 extended run, though Southport does get that one back in the third quarter. Royals, though, still out in front, 3 quarters in the books, 1 quarter away from capturing another Mayor's Cup. They lead the Cardinals of Southport 10-6. Final frame around the corner on the Roncalli Media Network.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field here at Roncalli High School. With Colin McShera, I am Jimmy Cook. Royals lead it through 3 quarters over the Southport Cardinals, 10-6. 1 quarter away from adding another Mayor's Cup to the trophy case. When you take a look at that third quarter, both from Roncalli's dominance at times on both sides, how do you continue that? You mentioned not get complacent, hold it through one more quarter to get that Mayor's Cup.
I'm a fan of just playing your full game no matter who you are to your best of your ability for the entire time that you're out there. Right? I don't want to take not that I don't want to take unnecessary risks, but keep playing your game. Keep putting the ball on cage. Keep passing the ball around with speed, trying to clear and keep the defense packed in, and just play the exact same mindset for the entire game, no matter what the situation is. If you're up by 20, you're up by 2, or if the game is tied, always have the same mindset. So that's what I'm looking for here. I don't want to take unnecessary chances and give give Southport a run and a clear here. But I want to be patient, but you also want to keep playing your game. Take those smart shots, the same smart shots you were getting, the same two-man games you were getting. Keep doing more of the same.
Sherman gives over to Parrott. His shot off the mark, but Royals' first 2 on the chase. They will keep it. Roncalli seeking their 5th win on the season. And a shot on goal is scored. I believe it was Sherman. It'll put that through.
That's who I have.
It's his third. First of this second half. And the Royals extend their lead to 5, just 30 seconds into this fourth quarter, 11-6.
They're coming off of a penalty, too, so you had the man advantage. I was critical early in the third quarter, late in the third quarter, about people taking shots from 12, 15 yards away. Well, when you have a kid who just put up his third and has his 5th point of a game, which includes 2 assists, I guess I'm okay with the 10-yard rip. So it works for me.
Face off in midfield. Royals trying to scoop it up, and they do. Taken successfully by Nicholas Burke. Nick, pass ahead to Parrott. Kill. Spinning, trying to adjust and turn and find an opening. He can't. Able to spin away from Burke, but lost it initially. Burke fighting for it.
It's good defense by Beatty. Got to give him credit for that one.
Beatty made that happen, but Roncalli able to get possession back. Diving for it was Burke. Make that call, I beg your pardon. Calling out of Sherman.
You're going to see Southport starts really stretching their defense out. And that's a good example of how they did forcing the turnover. Now we'll see if they've made any adjustments. I haven't seen too many adjustments made in the clear department so far in the first 3 quarters of the game. We'll see what Southport, if they made any adjustments going into the fourth. They obviously made a defensive adjustment. We'll see if they made any in the clearing department.
They give it over to Lyle. Lyle, a wild pass that's deflected. by his own teammate? The answer to that question, I would say no.
Not as much. Not to be critical, but because I am a goalie. You probably want to have your ball carriers either have a deep hole switch with an attacker and cut to cage. Get the people who are used to carrying the ball, and who have their primary responsibilities carrying the ball. Get them the ball immediately.
Sherman shot blocked by Lyle. Call has it on the far sideline, but loses it out of bounds. It will go to the Cardinals. Not even 2 minutes gone by here in this fourth quarter.
Seen a couple turnovers so far by both teams, starting to see a little bit of sloppy play. Now right here, we've changed the clearing up a little bit, only because Beatty has the ball on the outside. We'll see how the midfielders react to if they give him room or if they cut to him. Looks like we're going to have Antoine Randall returning another punt.
Mark Beatty, full head of steam. Then he hits the brakes with the finesse. Shot in front of the net, saved by Cole.
It's number 7 of the day for him.
He's really gotten comfortable in the net as this match has progressed. Pass just through the outstretched net. Successfully over to Burke. Burke, near side, shot, scored on the side by Rufus Parrott. His second. Lead is 6, 12-6.
And just as importantly, Burke, who does not have a goal so far in the game, does have 2 assists. And that was a big one right there. So now you pretty much double up the lead. You're forcing Southport to take an early timeout. And now you can really start making some adjustments to kind of put this game away.
We'll take one with him. 9:36 to play in this final quarter. Royals in the driver's seat for the Mayor's Cup. 12-6 over Southport on the Roncalli Media Network.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Laukveldhoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Laukveldhoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Laukveldhoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655. A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
.36 to play in this final quarter in the battle for the Mayor's Cup between Roncalli and Southport. The Royals lead the Cardinals 12-6. With Colin McShera, I'm Jimmy Cook. I want to thank you once again for spending time with us here at the Roncalli Media Network. Royals seeking their 5th win on the season and their 3rd in 4 games. Face-off won by the Cardinals. They attempt to scoop it up. Finally do so. Rust lost it. The Royals have another opportunity to add to their lead. Burke.
The failed clear. Let's see what happens here. Southport called a timeout trying to make some adjustments. That's got to be a little frustrating when you call a timeout and you lose possession immediately after winning such a faceoff.
Burke fakes a pass. Shot is good. Scott Burke scores it. His first goal of the match. We mentioned he's chasing history, trying to get to Keeler Jackson's all-time career mark. Sat at 71 goals coming in. He's got 72, 12 away from tying Keeler's mark.
You know that he's had that on his mind, but at the end of the day, what shows a lot of poise and character from the one senior on the team. Obviously, you're trying to chase history. I mean, having any kind of record, at a deanery Catholic school is big and it's important for somebody. But at the end of the day, playing your role and being a teammate is even more important.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows the character for this kid. He has 2 assists so far in the game. That's been his role. He doesn't necessarily need to put the ball in the back of the net to win the game today, but glad he got one right here.
Face off. Cardinals trying to gain possession of it. Unable to, though. It's Scott Burke. Burke battling his way. Looking for an angle to take off on. Bouncing back outside. Pass slightly mishandled, but then scooped up successfully there by Rosario. Over to Kill. Andrew taking far side. Shot blocked. We'll go to the Cardinals. How do things at all change on the defensive end for Roncalli? You mentioned goals can come in a hurry, and we've seen it from Southport, but you're starting to build, maybe it's too soon to say this, but you're starting to build at this point enough of a cushion to where that might be a safety net. How do you still stay focused on the defensive end?
I mean, in a way, you got to keep the whole thing even tighter than before. You want them to take outside shots. It's the end of the game. Both teams are starting to get a little bit fatigued, especially when you have pretty much one person trying to do it all in the clear and everything. So you got to keep it tight. Force them to take outside shots. And if they come in a little bit, that's going to make it so that, great save. Force them to come in offensively a little bit, and that's going to make those slides and those takeaways a little bit easier so that you can get into your transition and have the room.
Off-speed shot there by Parrott was saved well by Lyle. Royals, though, able to give chase and get it back.
Offensively, you definitely want to keep things spread out a little bit. If you take too many unnecessary drives, it's so much commotion. You can risk penalty, you can risk injury, you can risk a turnover. So keeping it wide and keeping those battles to a minimum are going to help. You got to think about it. If you're an attacker and a midfielder playing on this end of the field, odds are you're a good ball handler. And nothing against the deep poles being bad ball handlers. Since they have a 6-foot pole, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them. So use that to your advantage.
Full speed ahead on the shot by Rufus Parrott. He has 3. 14-6, Roncalli with 6:58 to play in the fourth on that nice strike by the sophomore.
Another assisted goal. That's been good. Right now on my scout week, Roncalli has scored 14 goals, and I have 8 assists. That's good. That's exactly what you want. You want at least 2/3 of your goals to be assisted, which is where they're at right now. So that's what I mean. Don't keep it wide and keep it spread. If you're keeping it wide like that, those lanes to cut are going to be open. So you have to do that to kind of eliminate, all that commotion in the middle like we just said, and that's how it shows that it pays off.
Face off in midfield. Squirts out from behind. Royals scoop it ahead. And they're able to corral it on that far side. Knocked out, last touch by Southport. Roncalli will have it as we approach the halfway point of this final quarter. Sherman hesitates, looking for a shot angle. He shoots. It's saved by Lyle. Royals, though, win the chase. They will keep it. Royals lost that before they were able to really go into a throwing motion on that pass. Sherman now has it. High pass. Sherman able to pluck it back. Matched up with Rust. Another high pass by the Royals. That'll be turned over back to Southport.
See a little bit of gamesmanship by Southport here. Max Beatty taking a little bit to get on the field. Hey, that's fine. The clock stops. You get your players a rest.
Sure.
Get the right offensive middies on the field. And hopefully help with the clear a little bit. Or at least get them spread out so you can just return another punt.
Beatty. No fair catches for him tonight. Hesitates. Shot. Scored. My goodness. 6th. Make it number 6 indeed for Beatty. 2 here in the second half. That brings the Cardinals within 7 with 5:56 to play in this ball game. Well, this might not go the Cardinals' way, but in general, Beatty, no doubt the takeover man for the Southport offense.
Yeah, you got to respect the effort by this kid. He's a special player out there. Hope to see him play at the next level sometime soon.
As we're past the halfway point of this fourth quarter, another face-off after the Southport goal. Squeaks out right to Ock. Ock trying to handle it. Unable to do so. But thankfully, Royals able to scoop it ahead. Call being bully-balled around.
That's an advantage of keeping it wide and spread. So right now they're 30 yards away from the goal, and there are a lot of checks that could have easily been penalties. It's easier to draw a penalty when you're further away like that, when you're forcing the defense to play in your area to pressure you out that far. And that's just a 1-minute penalty. That just takes another minute off of the 5 we have left, making it a lot more difficult for Southport to come back.
All part of this Roncalli game plan to get out of here with win number 5. Burke, pass, shot, over the shoulder with that, misfired.
There's a
but
penalty
flags fly.
in. That would have been a sweet goal. That would have been his 3rd assist of the game had Burke connected on that one. We have multiple flags. We'll see what the official calls over here. So the official carries 2, and if he throws both, it means there's 2 separate penalties. So we have 2 different slashing calls on 2 different players. One on, might have the goalie for cross-check too.
Things really coming apart for the Cardinals.
And right now we have Kotwalski for Southport coming in there. So that is a new rule. This is, I mean, I say new. It's been since I was in high school. Is that a bajillion years ago? Is that used to, if you only dressed one goalie, if there was a penalty, the goalie didn't need to come off the field. But that is unfortunately not the case now. If a goalie gets a penalty, they have to come off the field and serve the penalty. So what's happening now is that you're seeing they're swapping sticks. And it looks like number 19, who is, I didn't memorize the roster before.
Got Zach Chambers.
Zach Chambers. It looks like he's going to step in for at least a minute. We'll see how his clearing game is if he does get a save here. But it's going to be tough. Southport playing 2 people down for at least a minute. And another part of this aspect, too, is that there is requirement that you have to have a throat guard on your helmet. So you saw the goalie take his helmet off and give it to Mr. Chambers over here in order to play. It's a safety thing. They have to have that as part of it.
Might be a safety thing, not exactly a sanitary thing there, is it?
I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you got to do.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
If you saw the football field, I had to practice on it growing up. My immune system is king right now. And I've been to Africa 4 times now, so I'm still alive.
The results speak for themselves.
Exactly. Not saying that Africa is a dirty place, but we saw some pretty cool things when Coach AJ and I went there a little over a year ago. So great experience for all of us. But
that was really cool.
We came back alive, so.
Sherman. Royals kind of probing through. Sherman looking for call. His shot's off the mark, but Royals first to it. With 4:45 to play in this ballgame.
There's a 2-man advantage, so in theory you should score here. But at the same time, every time the goalie makes a save or if the shot misses, the bench is going to get up for their backup, who this is obviously not his natural position. So you got to be smart about how you play this over here. You don't want to give Southport any more momentum, have them feed off any of this. You have the momentum. You drew 2 penalties. Let's see what you do with it.
Score for Scott Burke. Another one for him. Second of the match. Both here in the second half. 32 goals on the season now for Scott Burke. Give him 73 for his career.
Call has 6 goals of the game so far today, but that was his first assist so far of the game, so good on him.
Timeout. We'll take one as well. With 4:35 to play here in this fourth quarter, Royals well on their way to another Mayor's Cup on the Roncalli Media Network.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals! Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
.435 to play in this final quarter in the battle for the Mayor's Cup between your Roncalli Royals and the Southport Cardinals. On with Colin McSherry, I'm Jimmy Cook. Royals well in the driver's seat, leading 15-7. And they've gotten it from multiple avenues on this offense. And as Colin mentioned before we went to break, a number of those goals via the assisted fashion, exactly what Doctor, a.k.a. Coach A.J. Ablong, has ordered for this team.
I have 6 different players scoring points. That not necessarily mean that they all score goals, but I have multiple people scoring multiple points. 5 of them have more than 2. So that's good to see that they're kind of getting more well-rounded and more balanced here, and they're getting it from a lot of them are sophomores. You know, Perrott and Sherman are both sophomores, and both have over 4 points apiece, with Sherman with 5.
Shot off the mark and ricocheted, giving chase is Sherman. Able to save it. Right to Burke. Scott, pass ahead to Sherman. Far side. Looking for Call. Can't find him there. Sherman through traffic. Shot. Off the mark. Royals, they'll give chase. And they'll keep it with 3:46 to go.
I misplayed that one over there.
Launched ahead by the Cardinals.
Pop fly. We've seen a lot of punt returns from Southport. We've also seen a lot of punts, too.
Indeed. Got the hang time tracker out?
No, but I need to text McAfee. It's been a couple years to see if he has one still.
Shot right in the front of the net. Saved by Cole. Andrew Cole continues to have a nice night in the net.
Nice meticulous passes, getting the ball up the field. Short, quick passes. And that's a good, successful clear.
Pass behind the net. Looking for action in front to Burke. He scores. Scott Burke, his 3rd goal. We talked about a quiet day at the office for him just a few moments ago. In the blink of an eye, he's got 3 on the board. Now 74 for his career and 33 on the season.
And speaking of 3, that's Rosario's 3rd assist so far of the game. Is what you like to see out of your sophomores.
Royals extend their lead to 9, 16-7 with 2:51 to play in this ball game. And I will say, we're not going to speculate on it, but Mark Beatty comes out for Southport and a bit of a limp in his steps. You hope he's all right. Looks like he's just trying to stretch it out. Face off, won by the Royals. Nick Burke passes ahead, contact upstairs. Royals lose it. Cardinals trying to get first to it on the scoop. They can't. It's taken instead by Call. Call bump from behind. The pass. Shots off the mark. Well, we have some laundry on the field. Chased there by the Royals.
Free possession, you definitely want to kill some time here. You don't want to take unnecessary risks and risk injury. As I say that, there's a 15-yard shot. Great save, though.
Burke gives the kill. Back over to Burke. Now Sherman. Inside of 2 minutes left to go in this match. Pass in front of the net. Executed to perfection. 3 was not enough. Give him 4. 4th goal for Scott Burke. Excellent passing there by the Royals to set it up. They lead by 10, and it's goal number 75 in the career of Scott Burke.
Another assist from Rosario. That seems to be a connection right there. That's Burke's 4th goal and Rosario's 4th assist.
So it gives 6 goals to Call and 4 to Burke, plus 3 mixed in there by Parrott and Sherman, and 1 for Merrick to round out your Roncalli scoring. Depending on how things go, could be your final face-off of the night here. It's able to be won by Burke. Nick Burke, full head of steam. He's 1 goal in mind. It's a shot on goal. It's deflected, though, and saved.
Send it.
Up ahead to Hansel for Southport.
This might be their first successful clear of the half. Get the ball to your ball carriers. Let them do their thing. Now settle.
Kodlowski. That pass was deflected off his own man, and Anselmo. Royals have it back. Burke flows up. Pass ahead. They swing it to Call. Shot wide. Royals first 2 on the chase with 1 minute and 1 second to play in this match.
Southport has taken Beatty off the field. It looks like they benched Peyton for Jim Sorgi over here. Good effort by this kid. He's got a bright future.
Pass rolls on a little miscommunication there by the Royals, out of bounds to Southport with 52 seconds to go. Well, the Royals can start to feel another piece of hardware in the trophy case. Remind you, coming up after the match, the Indy Teledata post-game show, we'll get final thoughts and analysis from Colin McShera, plus our post-game conversation with head coach A.J. Ablong. All that and more still to come on the Indy Teledata postgame show. Shot by Sherman is wide with 35 seconds to play. Royals first 2 on the chase, so they'll get it back. Or correction, no, it's going to go to Southport.
Looks like the ball went out of bounds so quickly the official had goalie possession on that one as closest to the ball, when and where it went out. So great hustle on the end line, but a hard shot gives the ball back to Southport.
Cardinals launched that downfield.
Got another punt. Hey, that worked.
Takes a bounce and right into the netting of Henderson. Henderson inside of 30 seconds. Shot deep. Saved by Cole. Popped in the air. Sherman had it, then lost it. Now it's a fight for it inside of 10 seconds. Burke looking for an angle. Shot is scored. Flag flies late with 6 seconds to go. Shot is good, says the official. So the 8th goal of the match.
That's Daniels' first of the game. That's the first goal that's been assisted by Southport all game today.
Well, at a minimum for a Southport team still looking for their first win of the season. Something good to hang your hat on at the end of this match. And one that's been, for the most part, dominated by Roncalli outside of the early stages of that second quarter.
New goalie coming in, Matthew Steckman, who's a sophomore, getting some time.
So Steckman in the net for these final 6 seconds for the Royals. Here's your final face-off. It's scooped up and won successfully. Nick Burke lets it hit the turf, and the Royals win it. Roncalli picks up their 5th win of the season and a trophy to boot as they capture the Mayor's Cup, defeating their rivals, the Southport Cardinals, 17-8 here at Bob Tully Field. For the Royals, we mentioned it, 6 goals for Call, 4 for Burke, 3 each for Parrott and Sherman, and 1 for Brendan Merrick to round out the Roncalli scoring. Did it a number of different ways, and a lot of that in terms of not necessarily patting the stats because he earned each one of those goals, but a lot of that margin created not just by Scott Burke individually, but the passing, which had been the large theme for this Roncalli offense throughout the night.
Definitely keeping it simple. We saw it in the big indicator of offensive success, even though it doesn't necessarily contribute to a goal itself, was in the clearing department. You know, we saw 1 assisted goal out of all of the 8 goals that Southport scored. 1 of them was assisted, and of the, I think, 16 when we turned it off? 10 goals were assisted by Roncalli. 17. So 10 of your 17 goals are assisted. That's definitely well over 50%. It's exactly where you want to be. And just in how I was watching them play, the passes were short, not a whole lot outside of 10 to 15 yards, keeping it simple, keeping it wide, and just hitting your second option. So if you're driving, you draw. If you can't get a good shot off, either feeding right away or backing it up and attacking the other side of the cage where there are less defenders. So just going through the order of operations and the progression of how the game went down, Roncalli executed in a much far superior way compared to Southport.
We're going to take a quick break, step out for 2 minutes. We come back at the Indy Teledata postgame show is on. We'll have our match recap and a postgame conversation with Royals head coach A.J. Ablong. That and more after this. Royals win the Mayor's Cup over Southport 17-8 here on the Roncalli Media Network.
Meet Zach. Zach rides everywhere, day and night, rain or shine. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Zach. We know he's been saving up for a car. We're here to help Zach and you. Now get pre-approved for auto financing as low as 3.99% APR. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Rates subject to credit approval and valid on purchase of 2020 or newer vehicles. Learn more at imcu.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
Meet Zach. Zach rides everywhere, day and night, rain or shine. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Zach. We know he's been saving up for a car. We're here to help Zach and you. Now get pre-approved for auto financing as low as 3.99% APR. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Rates subject to credit approval and valid on purchase of 2020 or newer vehicles. Learn more at imcu.com.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field for the final time. The Indy Teledata postgame show is on, and the Royals have an additional trophy into their trophy case. Victorious over Southport, 17-8, the final in the Mayor's Cup. Joining us as promised, the Victorious head coach A.J. Ablong. Coach, right off the bat, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the Royals. Win number 5 on the season. Walk me through how this one progresses. At one point in time, you're down 5-3. From there on out, you go on a 12-3 scoring run to close the match, and your larger point to us pregame, getting it done not just with hero ball, but passes leading to those goals.
Yeah, I think, and that was really the the big emphasis that we've had this year on offense is playing unselfishly, playing team ball. They came out hot. They came out very aggressive, and what you see a lot of times on the South Side with South Side teams is this chaos. And when we, as our team, has been trying to play a little bit more organized, a little bit more methodical. Sorry, I'm out of breath.
It's all right. Yeah, trophy celebration.
Yeah,
I understand.
No, I just chucked it up the stairs, up the bleachers. But so we've been trying to play more organized, and it's hard for our young team to start making that adjustment of, hey, I can hold the ball. I'm confident. And we're starting to see a lot of our sophomores take off and put the ball in the back of the net, playing more team ball. We saw Daniel Rosario had a ton of assists. He was always looking for a feed, and he found a lot of them.
So, Coach, of the 6 players who scored points today, you had Perrot, who had 4 points. Sherman had 5 points. Rosario had 4 points as it comes to 4 assists. Both of those players are sophomores. Then you had Marak, who's a freshman, getting a goal today. How do you see their role evolving over time as they finish out this year, then going to their junior and senior year? How do you see their game developing?
Yeah, and it's the elephant in the room when you see 11 on the field. Everyone plays Scott. Everyone slides to him, and actually you saw him go through the first 3 quarters without scoring, and that's insane for Scott to not be on the board, and for Scott to be now the assist guy and turn into a distributor all the time. That opened up a lot of our younger guys, and I think the big word is confidence. Tony Sherman finding those dodges. Rufus Parrott is up there. He's always putting balls in. Will's always looking to play. But the noticeable ones are Brendan Merrick, he's a freshman. He found that and he took it, and he took 3 or 4 checks, got rocked, but put the ball in the end, back at the end of the net, and that is a big confidence boost for him. So I think confidence, and as they change, we become now a dodging heavy team, but we have the wisdom to pass the ball.
So, Coach, fill me in a little bit. Mark Beatty had all but one of Southport's goals today. It seemed like he was obviously a very good athlete, kind of could do whatever he wants. How did you make those adjustments to shut him down later on in the game? And then moving forward, when you start playing teams that have 2, 3, or maybe 4 Max Beattys on the team, how does the defense adjust to playing those kind of people who can do anything they want on the field?
Yeah, and that's going to be the big question, especially as we go into the latter half of our season. He's quick. He was outrunning some of our faster guys. They were in an open set, which means you play adjacent or, close help defense, right, in basketball. So we kind of tightened up the ship. We stopped chase and stick, which is, again, a very young player mistake. We stopped chase and stick. We start playing body more. As we start to play better teams, we're going to look to make sure that we have those 3 slides, so that our full defense is getting in rotation. I know Coach Schuffelbein will make sure that gets in order.
We all saw we've all played lacrosse at high levels before, both of us playing at the college level. We saw that as you guys were starting to pull away from this game, the game got a little bit more chippier. How have your coaching influenced the poise on these players, and what kind of culture are you trying to set and evolve and build off of games like this?
Yeah, so if you notice, our bench has a very high energy. We are a very high energy bench, and the main focus that we do, and I'm very proud of my culture on my team. We are a very others focused. We are servant leaders at heart, and when we're on the bench, we only cheer for our plays, no matter how small. It could be a good ground ball pickup when we need it. We will go absolutely nuts. The amount of cheering we do for a small ground ball or a good poke check or solid lockdown defense is going to be the same as if it was a goal. Even clears. We celebrate everything, and it's only accomplishments that we do when we celebrate our teammates' accomplishments. And so when the game gets chippy, we don't need to stoop to that level. We play tough. We play physical. We're gonna get a hit if there's an opportunity. We're gonna hit the ball. We're gonna slide. We're not gonna be soft, but just focusing on each other and our accomplishments, no matter how big or how small.
Last question from me for the night. Me as a coach, when I was doing it, I honestly had no idea who I was playing next. My focus was whoever was next on the schedule. Now that this game is over, do you know who you have next? And if so, what are your expectations and what are you looking forward to for your next game?
Yeah, so we play Franklin Community next, which is they're a second-year team, a lot of first-year players. So, again, the main focus that we're going to have here, it's also senior night, so it's AKA Scott night. He's our only senior. So our main focus is playing offense perfectly in the sense that after we play Franklin, we play Avon. Avon's our another big rivalry game, and we need to play there. We've dropped quite a bit at lax numbers. We've dropped, and so we need to compete against Avon. We need to compete against North Central. We need to compete against Brebeuf in order to kind of prove ourselves, because I think a lot of people are now sleeping on us. I don't think we've shown our full potential with what we can do and what we're able to do. I think going into Franklin, we're not going to take any game sleeping. We are going to compete every game. We're going to play Franklin like we're going to play Brebeuf. And my expectation of my boys, whether we play Franklin or Brebeuf, is be perfect. Make sure you're communicating. Your slides are there. Your help slides are there. If we're playing on offense, let's run our offense. Let's dodge, pass, dodge. All these basic lacrosse things. That way we can do it good against a team that knows how to do their 2 slides and their 3 slides, and we're prepared in that way.
Coach, 3 wins in your last 4 matches and a Mayor's Cup to boot as well. Congratulations. We'll have that senior night broadcast right here on the Roncalli Media Network. Until then, enjoy this one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Royals head coach A.J. Ablong. Again, Roncalli victorious tonight, 17-8 here at Bob Tully Field. Colin, some final thoughts on this one as we put a bow on it and celebrate another Mayor's Cup win for the Royals.
Yeah, so the only thoughts that a mindset that I have coming in, this is the first Indiana high school boys lacrosse game I have seen in several years, right? So I'm a girls coach. I've coached high school here. I coach the college level. So I normally just, if I'm watching the men's game, it's on TV. So it was nice for me to get back on this field, or back, at least observing the men's game in this capacity. It's the first time I've ever done something like this. And I went to Bishop Chatard. We didn't have a facility like this. Our home games were either at Arlington High School, which doesn't exist, Broad Ripple High School, which doesn't exist. So we were always a permanent road team. And so coming back to a place, I grew up playing middle school football on this field. I played high school football on this field. So it was really nice to kind of, if I'm going to go start and doing something like this, I appreciate AJ for the invite. We're good friends. So I don't have much of an insight to compare what to look forward to and what to look back on. All as I know is that there was a definite difference on the field when it comes to depth, when it comes to coaching, mindset, culture, and it showed today. And I think that shows the big difference as to what not just Catholic school sports in general, but what good people in good situations are capable of doing. And I saw it today.
Well, thanks for taking the time for us, and appreciate having you on for the ride here on the Roncalli Media Network. It was a blast and made the broadcast, I thought, go a lot smoother in terms of the production. It's always top shelf here at the Roncalli Media Network. We'll get to those roses here in a second, as we always do. The executive directors of the Roncalli Media Network, Therese Carson and Aaron Hummel. How about this guy with double duty? Video operations director and lacrosse coach, AJ Ablong, doing a stellar job as always. My partner tonight, Colin McShera, guiding us through, making us sound our best. For our entire staff and crew, I'm Jimmy Cook. Again, our final in this one, Roncalli takes the Mayor's Cup over Southport 17-8. Until we talk to you on Monday night for boys volleyball against Chittard and senior night in that sport, so long, everybody.